Well, good morning, 4th and 5th grade. I don't remember what day it is, but I'll put it right here. It's a couple days after Christmas, a couple days before New Year's. But anyway, I am up here in the grain bin, as you can see. I probably should have a mask on, oops. But all I'm doing is just walking around in this peak up here. And I'll explain more about that when we get down below. But let's start loading the truck. This looks okay. I think we're good to go. So my dad said we needed some tools, so we got this we call a driver, and we've got a bunch of bits for it. I'm not sure the size, so like most operations, I'm just gonna bring everything and hopefully something works. But I apologize, my voice is, oops, got my glove. My voice is really squeaky. I think I got sick from my little boy. He's actually going on day 3 in the hospital, so when you guys are outside, be sure and bundle up, wear the appropriate clothing. All this t-shirts and just hoodie sweatshirts and shorts outside, not a good deal. Am I wearing a hoodie? Yes, but I've also got 2 sweatshirts underneath it. That way I don't have to wear a coat. So please wear the appropriate clothing so that your immune system doesn't get low, and you could definitely get sick like my little buddy. He's actually spending day 3 in the hospital. So yeah, don't do that. Let's go super trucking. It is super early and super, it's actually really nice out. 7 degrees, but no wind. Pretty nice, but guys better be careful with their trucks because the highways are clear, but all these gravel roads, it's basically driving on a sheet of ice, which is not ideal when you're fully loaded. So hopefully they keep traction and keep her on the road, and we'll be good. Well, let's get this truck ready for some action. So there's something different about a lot of semis that go up and down the road. They're different from your regular car. One, they've got something called air ride. You can see, let's see if we can see those airbags. Oh, there you are, Adam. Right here. These are called airbags. And what these things do is fill up with air, and that's basically the suspension. A lot of your cars go up and down the road, and they have something called, oops, shut my light off. They have something called leaf springs, which is just another suspension, just so it's not so bumpy in your car. But these trucks have air ride. One, I think it's a little smoother, and 2, we're already having air within the truck to run something called air brakes. And basically what that is there's, let's see if I can see one without getting too dirty here. Probably not gonna happen. Shoot. But anyway, there's a great big spring that is compressed way down in a truck, and it uses air to decompress those springs and take the brakes off. So there's something called emergency brakes or park brakes in the truck. And the reason they do that is if something happens to your truck, things go out of control, you pull a button in your cab, and the brakes will immediately apply to the truck. That way your truck can come to a stop. It's basically an emergency way to stop your truck. So we're going to get this baby aired up and back out. So I went ahead and did my cheat code here. We're about 100 PSI. So that can let the brake go off just like this. Oh, it's already off. We need to shut that off. Woo! And we unhook it right here. This is the air tank under the truck. So instead of running the truck and getting the fumes all up in the shed, we put this little hookup on the truck. That way we can just hook it to that air compressor and generate air that way. So now all I got to do is start it up, back it straight out, and go over to where we're loading trucks. Well, looks like he's loaded, so he's going to take off. And now I'm going to try and sneak underneath that conveyor. So we'll see how easy we can make it look. Because my dad made it look pretty easy. So we'll see. Okay, so we're in the truck waiting patiently to load. But I never explained to you guys. When I was up in the grain bin, I was walking around the top making sure there wasn't any crust. Now that can be a frozen crust, that could be a crust where a little bit of the seed on top may have germinated, may have got some moisture in the peak and germinated. Different things like that, all sorts of things. But anyway, that sump in a grain bin, the grain pulls from the very top and sucks through the center and the bottom. It kind of creates a vortex. That's why when you're pulling grain out of a grain bin, you're not supposed to climb in the grain bin because it's very, very dangerous. So made sure my dad knew I was up there walking around, but basically any of that crust at the top can go all the way to the bottom and it immediately plugs your sump, and that's no fun because then you have to get a bunch of tools or whatever to try and unplug that sump. So not a fun deal, but luckily I think we avoided that. We made sure there was no crust, so we should be good to go. Well, we are at the barn now, folks, and I get to drive the big old monster plow pickup in the wintertime. Sometimes I take it off, but it seems like there's a forecast for snow every 4 days, so I don't dare take it off. But notice from the highway even, I can see those pit fans are blowing steam, and then this one doesn't seem like it. I know it's cooler in that room. Oh, it is working. Yep. Blowing a little bit of steam, but this room is room 1, and it's actually cooler than those 2 rooms up there. So for whatever reason, these ones are throwing a bit more steam than the other ones. So that's interesting, but you can notice those things even driving down the highway. If you see my barn or something, you can even count the pit fans and watching the steam come out of the rooms. That's good. That means that everything's working properly and that the pigs are nice and warm inside. So we're gonna go ahead and check our feed bins again because it is Friday, and I know for sure I'll make it through this 3-day weekend. The feed mill is actually closed on Monday, January 2nd, in observance of New Year's Day. But yeah, so looking at my feed sheet here, my handy dandy notebook. So I'm mainly concerned about these 2 bins, which are right there, just to make sure they will make it. And it looks like I might have a couple more empty come Tuesday as well. So I might put in a feed order for delivery on Tuesday once I tap on the bins and kind of figure out where everything is sitting here. So it's just a lot of thinking ahead is required on this job of ordering feed, because you don't want to order too much, and but if you order too little or don't think ahead far enough, you run out. The pigs run out of feed, and that's not a good deal. Sometimes it happens, but we try to minimize it as much as possible. It just comes down to good management, and as long as the pigs have feed in front of them, they're going to grow well for you. So yeah, part of the game. And my propane tank, keeping the piggies nice and warm. So something I want to show you guys, I'm in here doing the barn, treating pigs, walking rooms, adjusting some things, all sorts of things. I hope you can hear me. These guys are barking up a storm. They're getting big, kind of noisy. But some things I have to keep an eye on. This feeder's almost empty, and this one is full. So I have to ask myself what the deal is. Sometimes there's a rod that goes completely through there that holds this tube to this piece. And this little trinket, this is a clump of feed that came out of my feed bin, and I don't know how long it was there. Obviously it wasn't here yesterday, or there wouldn't have been feed in here fully today, but those things happen. So that's why we have to check our barn each and every day, regardless of how automated our feed lines are. I mean, we've got the heaters in here, the waters are all automatic, but the pigs still need tending to, and sometimes those things fail. This is proof of that. So that's why we have to be extra careful. I'll let them chew that up. Good job, buddies. Well, 4th and 5th graders, I would say welcome back to school, but today is January 3rd, which is Tuesday. Gotta check my phone even. Tuesday, you were supposed to go back to school today, and you didn't because Mother Nature happened. So I hope you guys enjoyed your extended break. Hope you had a great Christmas, a great New Year's, and a great Christmas break overall.
But that being said, I enjoy doing these videos, but I really want to come talk to you guys too. So, teachers and students alike, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to try and put those together a little bit. I don't care if it's one question, I don't care if it's 20 questions. But I just like to know those a little bit of time ahead of time going in. That way I can help my mind come to a response, but mostly in case there's anything I can bring in, like I brought in feed before, I brought corn and soybeans, different things like that. If there's anything you want me to bring in that you want to see and understand, by all means, I can do that on my classroom visit to come meet you all. So hopefully we'll do that maybe January, maybe February, whenever it works in your guys' schedule, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. I'm hoping you guys are finding some value in it, but if there's other things you want to see, let me know. Take care, guys.